to another episode of DTT. And yes, I did say DTT this time, unlike this one right here.
Apologies.
And he messed up with the intro last time. But today, I'll be the host and I'll be introducing
Gigs
and
Mustafa.
I'm not really good with the intros like that, but you know. Next time, he'll be back in this hot seat. Anywho, today we're going to be having another conversation and seeing where things goes. You know, when it comes to DTT, we just vibe, and wherever the conversation goes, it flows. So, who likes to open us off today? Or do you guys want me to start by asking a question? All right, so last time I asked a question about what we learned. This time I want to ask a question about the same thing. From Tuesday of last week till today, what's something interesting that you've learned?
So I've learned something interesting recently, and it's called an anaptidon, where
big word.
yes, it's basically idioms or sayings that people usually say, but they never finish the full saying. It's gotten so popular that you don't even have to finish the saying for people to know what it means.
Oh.
And a great example is when in Rome, do as the Romans do. And you never hear that part.
Yeah.
Which basically means once you're in a certain place, you gotta act similar to the people from that place.
Okay.
Yeah, an aptidon.
An aptidon?
Oh,
Interesting.
That's interesting. You know what I've learned of recent is that Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro is the highest goal scorer of all time. And fun fact, you can find all of his goals online. There's video proof, unlike some people. And also, let's not forget, when it comes to the international men's side, he's the GOAT. When it comes to clubs, he's the GOAT. Also, another fun fact, did you know that Ronaldo scored his first goal in the Champions League in like 2003?
Well,
How old were you then?
0 years old.
How old were you? I was like,
I think that's enough fun
One,
facts
two,
for Ronaldo
right,
this
Yeah,
time.
Ronaldo, man.
You got something to say?
Amazing. Anyways, one has a World Cup.
here we go with this.
But before I
That's
even
the
go
same
there,
exact thing you said last week.
and I'll keep saying that. When it comes to
Nah.
dealing with these Ronaldo
Nah,
fans
nah,
here,
nah,
man,
nah.
all you have to do is bring up the World Cup,
Nah.
and they'll shut up because their
Di
supposed
Maria.
goal doesn't have it.
Di Maria.
Well, anyways, this is supposed to be deep.
Anyways, what I've learned recently is that I've learned a lot, man. But I will say that we are more emotional than we think as humans at times. I think we like to give ourselves the benefit of the doubt as well. And when it comes to starting things, we don't do. And then when it comes to giving excuses as well, we'll say one thing, but internally we know it's something else. So what I learned recently is that we as people, we're not entirely honest with ourselves all the time. So what do you guys think about that
Actually,
being
yes.
honest with ourselves?
Yesterday, I had a very deep talk with someone, and what I struggled with, they would ask me questions, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know the answer of. It would be like, "Oh, why haven't you done this before?" And I would internally think about it, and I'm there like, honestly, there's a reason why I'm not doing it, but I just don't know what the reason is.
Right.
And I think it's some sort of barrier our brain, or I don't know, maybe the heart, like stops us
Spitting something out.
from not even that. It's just like
Do you think it's the effort? Because sometimes you might want to start something, right? But you think about the steps it takes to do it. So it takes like more action to do it or more energy. What do you think?
Actually, I was thinking about this like this weekend. I was thinking about I don't know if, correct me, I may be wrong, but I think your question kind of ties it into like procrastination. Like, why do you procrastinate? Like, I asked myself that question. Like, when I need to do something, I'm like, why is it that I'm procrastinating? Like, is it a thing of I don't want to do it, or I can't do it, or like why is it that we as humans tend to procrastinate? You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's use a common thing. We're all African, we're all kids, we all have parents. Like, let's say your mom asks you, hey, don't forget to bring out the meat from the freezer before you go to school in the morning. And you know, she's in a rush, leaving for work.
Yeah.
Now you in your mind know that, okay, I should just go do that quick. because maybe later I'm gonna forget. But you're like, let me wait before I go to school. And then now you go to school, you don't bring out the meat, then you come home and yeah.
But I think why we tend to procrastinate and why we keep doing it, even though we subconsciously know, or not even subconsciously, we actually know that it's something that we shouldn't be doing. It's because we always get away with it. No matter how big the punishment is, it's never big enough, or like, yeah, it's never big enough for you to be like, nope, this is something that I have to stop. Also, us as humans, we try to learn from our mistakes, but it's very hard for us to learn from our mistakes.
I don't know. I feel like I do agree with your points that maybe the punishment might not be enough.
Yeah.
But I also think it's distraction. And I kind of seen it with my own eyes as well. You know, when you tell somebody to do stuff, and I've been guilty of this myself, don't get me wrong.
We all have.
My mom tells me to do something sometimes.
Oh,
Either I'm on either I'm on the phone or I'm occupied with this, and then you tell yourself you do it later, you do it later.
Yeah.
That's the issue as well. We get distracted too often.
Right.
So that kind of makes things I guess so, a hassle.
Yeah.
Okay, now my next question is, how can you get rid of procrastination? Like, how do you, like, is it something that you could get rid of, or do you think it's something that you can work to adapt and like be better next time, or yeah, what do you guys think?
Well, procrastination, when it comes to it, man, I think you have to be self-accountable. You have to hold yourself accountable. Just like what we were talking about, where I was saying, like, we're more emotional than we think. Sometimes we have to think less. I know that might go contrary to what people may believe, but the only reason why at times we don't do things is because we think too much about it.
Right.
Maybe we have a YouTube channel we want to start. Maybe we want to start this new project. Maybe we want to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But
some money.
we're just thinking too much, man. That's what I've noticed. At least for me, that's why I might at times procrastinate. But when I don't think and I just do, then that solves that procrastination issue.
Like Nike said, just do it.
Just do it.
Sponsor us.
Okay, sorry.
No, so what I was gonna say, recently I have been testing scheduling apps where it would be like 8 a.m. do this, 9 a.m. do this,
Right.
and I found it very easy to complete the tasks that I have put like on myself, only because it's like, you know how if you have a teacher, you're in a class, a teacher tells you, oh, you got to do problems 1 to 4 in the next 20 minutes. You will do it because you have someone there to tell you.
Right.
But if there is no one there who is
an authoritative figure,
not even just an authoritative figure, someone who is keeping you in check,
Accountable.
keeping you accountable.
That's it.
You know?
That's it.
I think using an app
Yeah.
or scheduler, something that is a routine thing where it keeps you in check
right?
day to day.
Yeah.
I think that's another way to combat procrastination.
Interesting. But even so, these apps as well, like, you know, our phones nowadays have reminder apps, and we do that, we set them, but sometimes we just don't.
You just
do
look
it.
at it and you just.
That's why I say it's more so about keeping yourself accountable.
But that's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, it is. It's
We're gonna have to do it if you want to stop it, right?
How many times have you tried to keep yourself accountable, yet you've struggled to go through with it?
Yeah, and then you're just like, I'll just get it later.
You would start the gym for 5 days and then you don't do it anymore. Gigs.
That one is true, guys. I'll be back in 2020.
2067, bro.
No, honestly, it's I think, okay, I can speak from the gym standpoint. Is a thing of the reason why I started going to the gym, and then I was like, okay, I wanna bulk up, don't let the oversized t-shirt fool you. Like, if I take this off, let's just say it's gonna get mad hot in here still. But it's a thing of when I started going, right? I was like, okay, when I go there and I'd see people that are like super hench, when they want to walk through the door, they gotta turn sideways, they can't walk through straight, And I was looking at those guys, like I feel like our last episode, I was comparing myself a little bit to that. I'm just like, ooh, that guy's like, he's wild, What am I doing here? I'm like skinny chicken legs, and what am I doing in a place where guys, has to turn to the side to walk through the door and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think that all comes down to you have to have the self-discipline and the awareness, like self-awareness and the accountability to be able to say, I don't want to mind what that guy's doing. I'm gonna do what I'm doing. And also, if I say I'm gonna go to the gym, I have to force myself to be like go to the gym because it's a thing of I think it's a thing of if you start, right? Once you start it, you build that habit. Like in the sense of like somebody don't quote me on this, but it says it takes 21 days to form a habit, but it takes 6 months to break it. So if you keep consistently doing that, you say I want to go to the gym every day. 21 days, you keep going, keep going. Next thing you know, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, aren't you gonna go to the gym?" But I already went because it's now ingrained in you as a part of your habit, character, whatever, to go to the gym. Compared to if you're like, tomorrow, maybe the next, and then.
You have anything to say?
Well, I'll say I do agree with the point. And I think it's more so about discipline as well. Because I was originally going to say motivation. Your motivation has to be strong enough, but then I thought about it. But then, exactly, motivation can only take you so far.
Motivation is so
minute.
minute. It's
so little.
Very minute.
So you have to be disciplined enough. I think your why has to be strong enough as well. That's what's going to drive you. So perhaps maybe the answer to your question about accountability is to find a why that's strong enough for you to pursue, even if those days where your emotions tell you don't feel like doing it.
Okay, but what if your why changes?
Your why changes.
Because let's say, you say, you want to go to the gym because you want to get big. Okay, and then you get big. So now what's your thing? You can't, you're saying why can't be, right? Yeah, your why is achieved. So I think it's a thing of.
I think you'll find a different why as you go.
You could change your whys.
But in the start, though, you have to be honest with yourself as to why you're actually starting. Because most guys will tell themselves they want to get big to get big. But some want to get big so they can, impress the females.
And stuff,
Do you think that's a good motivation? I don't know about that one,
to
man.
a certain person,
You
to
think
the
so?
to the right person, that's a good thing for him. Because let's be honest, yeah. So I actually I saw this clip where some guy was telling this girl, she was like, I want a guy with 6 packs. I want a guy that he can lift me up, throw me around. And then the guy told her, he asked her, he was like, does your dad have a 6-pack? And she was like, yeah, my dad has a 6-pack. He works out. And then he was like, I have news for you. Your dad is cheating on your mom. And she was like, what? And he was like, if a guy is married and he has the time to go to the gym, and he has the time to go to the gym and do all of this, that man he's focused on the wrong thing. Because as a dad, you need to have that bod, Obviously, there's a difference between a bod and a beer belly. A bod is, a little shape, not too much.
I think,
females, the ones who I've talked to, they don't care if you have a 6-pack or you have a dad bod. In fact, we've actually had a survey done recently, and it was more people saying dad bod is preferred to a 6-pack, and it's something that you'd be like, what?
No lie though. We're gonna take this into a different direction. And let's see what you guys think.
Okay.
Do you think what they say is actually what they mean though? Because you can say one thing and then mean another. And personally for me, I've seen, and I was just having a conversation with a few friends earlier today about it as well. But what is said doesn't necessarily correlate to what is.
Well, guess what? If you want to find out about that, check us out next week. As been Mustafa,
Ismail,
and I've been Giggsy.
Have a great rest of your day.